Today's the rundown. It is July 19th, brought to you by Sprezbox. Promo code rundown. It's just loud as fuck in here.
I don't know who
It's a shit show.
The challenge guys just creating a commotion back here.
Yeah.
Giant bananas just squawking. It's 25% off your first month's box. Sprezbox simplifies the shopping experience. New box shipped out every month containing 5 to 6 products. Socks, cutoff, ties, links, sunglasses, all that crap. Subscriptions start at $25. You're guaranteed to have $100 retail value, so there you go. No brainer. You make $75 on top of it. Sprezbox, use the code RUNDOWN. 25% off your first month's box. Riggs is in. KFC is still home on never-ending paternity leave.
God damn it, when will that guy be back?
Shout out
Those scumbags.
KFC, never coming back. Just literally like a month with KFC too. So we have Riggs in here. Christie, in the news, caught a foul ball at the Mets game, roundly booed.
3-2, he's popped up. Rivera giving a look at it. And a souvenir for Christie. Are you kidding me?
How about that? You just noticed him. Boy, are you hot, I'll tell you. You just noticed him between innings, and what do you know?
Nice to see him get from the beach here to the ballpark.
Baseball's weird. You know that expression, the ball finds you? Like
Yeah.
they always say that, the ball finds you. The ball found Christie. I can't believe he caught that. That was my take.
Unbelievable catch. He just like little quick left hand casual catch.
Casual.
Very casual. He almost looked like there's some sort of athlete in there somewhere. That was very just no problem. Scooped it and was like, I'm going to hand this off to some kid.
Beelined
No
it for a kid too.
The craziest part, though, is it's casual, super athletic catch to just like a dorky fat guy high five. You see it just like that, like flailing.
Yeah.
Like, how'd that guy do that?
There's not too many things that can rejuvenate like a political career that's dead. Making that type of foul ball
He got
catch.
booed after.
I know, he
Yeah.
got roundly booed.
Like, that's.
And
I mean,
the announcer killed
you
him.
like dream for that moment where a whole stadium boos you.
It happened when I've told this story. I got called out. We rigged the contest at the Bruins game where they put two people on opposite ends of the ice to like shoot as many pucks. And I was going against like a teenage girl. I smashed her, and then I started machine gunning the crowd with a stick, and got roundly booed. Then I also fell down and like broke my finger. They ushered me into the locker and made me sign paperwork that said I want to sue.
I mean,
Should've signed.
you know this Christie too. He's going to this game just like, all right, I'm going to go to the game. Nobody's going to notice me really. Ball comes right to him. He gets booed. The guy, he's also kind
Announcer
of a
killed him,
content.
too.
Yeah.
He's kind of a content machine though. I feel like
is.
everything he does, like when his governorship's up at the end of this year, we might have to hire him. He is a content
He's got that.
machine.
I mean, his body is like it's interesting when he's doing nothing. You just
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
stare at it and like,
really?
how does
Yeah,
that
he just
exist?
plays softball, and it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. It's incredible.
Shout out to the announcer. The line he said, which I'm referencing, was he just went straight from the beach to like the ball game and
Nice to see him get from the beach here to the ballpark.
just put him in a
Smoked
casket.
him.
When is he done?
At the end of this year.
Yeah.
That you want to talk about guys? I thought he was going to be president at one point. Like when he congratulated Obama for the way he handled Sandy.
Yeah.
Like he was like the it guy.
Well, yeah, and there's the story where Trump and he were in cahoots last year of Trump being like, all right, like once my run's over, I'm going to endorse you and we're going to do this.
And then it
it's
all
over.
went sideways. This, I assume, is Florida. I don't know where this next story is from, but it seems like Florida. Guy impersonating Chad Johnson to buy like 20 grand of shit at Louis Vuitton. I don't get it. I don't get the story. Like, what do you mean? Like, either the credit card works or it doesn't work? He didn't have Chad Johnson's credit card.
Right.
He gave the credit card. The credit card, I think, was declined twice, but then worked. And he's like, I'm Chad Johnson, so of course it is going to work.
And also, he looks obviously nothing like Chad Johnson,
Nothing.
which I think if you were impersonating someone and you look that drastically different than the person, you are okay under parody law. Like, you can just say that's just a
Good point.
because it's so ridiculous. That's not even close.
He's also great. I agree with that point. At Louis Vuitton, I'm going to say if you polled 100% of Louis Vuitton stores, maybe less than 1% responding would know who Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
So maybe he's a good guy. Be like, I'm Ocho Cinco. You never heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other thing was the one question he missed, like, was date of birth. Like, that's if Octagon Bob's taking an ID trying to get in, the one thing you know is date of birth.
Yeah.
He didn't have date of birth. He didn't look like him. Then again, it's Louis Vuitton. I mean, it might be one of those places where, like, if you're even in there, they just assume Like,
Right.
Yeah, you're like,
Right.
sure,
you got the
you're
money.
good.
You don't window shop in
Yeah,
Louis Vuitton.
No, it's
Right.
not. It's just different. It's like a different thing.
Still don't understand the concept. Back to the original point of if the card works and you have whatever, like how saying you're somebody changes whether they accept. Either you have the money or you don't.
Right.
It was
he
like-
like, I'm Chad Johnson, put it on my tab?
Right. It
I
doesn't
don't
sound
really,
that way.
it makes no sense.
It was almost like you had to be somebody for them to even accept your credit card. It was weird.
Strange. What's hot in the streets of Japan is they are installed in shopping malls like pods. Like for the men who are with the wives, they can sit, look like this guy's watching a movie, playing a video game. Knowing Japan, it was probably some sort of like porn going on in there or something. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Pods?
perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you got to come up with something. I mean, we can't just keep doing this. It's brutal. The one thing that I loved about the pod, because I feel like if you're just going to do games and all that, it's going to be like, why wouldn't I just fucking stay home and watch TV or play games? But they had retro 90s games, it said, which I think is a great move, because you could be like, well, I can go play like GoldenEye or something, which I can't really do anymore.
Well, Riggs, I don't think the question is why wouldn't I stay home? I don't think the guys have a choice to stay
It's
home.
not really.
But then
You ever
I
had a
feel like you're
girlfriend?
still going to get in shit if you go to the mall and you just sit in the fucking pod and play video games.
I don't
all
know. I think you're okay if you're like, hey, here's the credit card. We'll see you in an hour.
I think there's like a proximity rule.
Yes.
Like if you're sort of floating around the general proximity of the store she's
Right.
in. So you need multiple
I was going to say the
pods.
pod then needs to be like right at the entrance.
You need
to
a
the
bunch of
store
pods.
or something right there.
And
But-
I don't think one pod would do very well.
Right.
We're just going to line around the corner waiting to get in the pod.
Right. I mean, if there's like a pod area, I don't think it works.
This
There's
has
a bunch
been-
of different pods.
If this was your rundown audition, you'd be getting an F.
I disagree. Strong.
It's always a question of when Dave will go at Riggs in a
No, I mean, he's made no sense. in
Took
this
20
one.
minutes this time.
Oh, you actually
no,
timed
6
it.
minutes,
He
21
actually was
seconds.
timing it.
You were timing it.
What a twist.
6 minutes, 21 seconds.
That kind of
That's
blew
good,
up.
Riggs.
But it's,
That's now it's an A.
That was long,
That's
actually.
a good. I mean,
that was a long
He
time.
just threw that in your face.
Usually it's like 8 seconds.
I was
That
going to
was long.
say it blew up in your face because that was a fair criticism that you were making. No, you made 3 to 4 nonsensical points in that particular blog, but that was a
That's
good
a-
move.
that's a
It could have
lifesaver.
worked a lot better for you.
If it was
early. It was.
yeah, if it had just
God.
been like, what the fuck are you wearing?
You're
I
dressed-
thought for sure you're gonna bury me early, and it was
You're
gonna
dressed
be
normal for the first, like you're not copying anybody's look, so to speak. To
okay.
By the way, the pod thing, there just needs to be a place you can nap, because there's no tired like walking around a mall or a museum tired. It just sucks the life out of you. You're just walking and your legs get heavy. This might also be because I'm out of shape. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
yeah, right.
I'm just,
in general,
like walking is a lot.
Cyclist, this guy in the Tour de France. Tour de France sidetracked my brain. No worse sports team. When the Tour de France is on, everything else is off. It's the worst event to be going. They got this picture. His legs are just gruesome looking. Slow day, slow Tour de France. I can tie this into a personal story that I've been trying to hide because I don't want people to like. But I have like, what do they call it? What's the vein when you have a gross vein? Like I have a varicose vein in my leg. It's disgusting.
Let's see it. Oh, you know what that is? That's not even a varicose vein. That's like a lumpy old lady leg.
No, it's varicose.
No, that's a lumpy old lady leg. You see that with old ladies, and you're like, okay, do they got something wrong?
No,
Let's
it
go
comes
get-
and it goes. That's
Nope,
a vein.
That's a lumpy old lady.
That's
leg.
it's a varicose.
I know
vein.
a lumpy old lady.
I
leg.
actually.
That's a lumpy old lady. leg.
I have an appointment with the cardiovascular
Okay,
doctor.
so you
and
can be
we'll
like,
see.
you should.
So you think this can't be fixed?
No, they're gonna give you like old lady circulation socks that you have to wear.
Well, circulation. that would speak to a vein issue.
Right, but it's like old ladies
It
get
comes and
those
goes.
lumps
It's
on their
so
legs.
gross sometimes.
You probably bruise easily too.
No, I
you might
don't.
be a hemophiliac.
No, I mean I may have issues beyond this because I had the eyes, I had the piss and blood, I got veins popping out. But right now, when I saw that,
Have you thought about that? Because you've had more health issues in the last year than you have obviously for a while. And I think it's obviously directly related to blog life. So it's like watching a future that I will be in. Are you getting a little worried now? Like, wow,
Yeah.
things are starting to fall off.
I'm going to the neurosurgeon next week because I
Yeah.
still have tingly fingers and
That
forearms.
was what it was. Your tingly fingers. I was like,
They've come back.
shit. And I'm staring at it. It's
Yeah.
like basically watching someone.
Everyone in here is staring
has
at their
CTE,
well, not
and it's
everyone.
like, okay.
I don't
You're
think,
also.
like,
I mean, you're
Caleb's
just kind
staring
of
at it.
like older. I feel like.
Well, I mean, I am older. How
Right.
old are you?
That's what I mean. 30.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that much older. You blink, you'll be
What
there,
I'm
buddy.
saying,
Right.
like 10 years. I mean, you're 40. Like that's. When
No,
you
but
get old,
Riggs-
shit falls apart.
No,
No
if
doubt.
you don't think you're going to end up exactly in Dave's spot, like this is what the blog game gets you. Gets you tingly fingers and old lady legs.
Yeah, I mean, also just getting older, and you're pretty old.
I'm old. There's no doubt.
But he's got more problems than an average 40-year-old.
I think I have more problems than an average 40-year-old.
I would say
I would
so.
agree with that.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great at all.
No, I'm not. It's not a good thing.
No, it's- I mean,
No,
we all
the
agree.
tingly fingers. I had the foot.
Tingly fingers and forearm make me very
I
nervous.
couldn't feel my foot for like a few
Don't like
months.
that.
It's
I
bad.
need like a squish ball to like. Kliff Kingsbury, Big 12 press conference is very funny. First of all, he came out to a Bieber song.
Coach is going to go straight to questions. Hey guys, we're now joined by Coach Kliff Kingsbury from Texas Tech. We're going to go straight to questions. Coach is going to skip his opening statement. So if you have a question.
Actually, I have one opening statement. I'm not sure why we had the Justin Bieber plan for my walk-up song, but we'll move
That was
forward.
your question, though. That doesn't work the same way.
What was the song? It was talking about how good he looked. What was the Bieber song? Somebody get me that Bieber song that Kliff Kingsbury came out to. It's blogged on our site, BarstoolSports.com. Everyone's looking at me like, what is it? I think it was Love Yourself. Yeah, Love Yourself. Good job. So he was mad about that. He's like, my first question is, why did I come out to that? And then he gets hit with this old Big 12 Texas football guy, like who's just not even trying to make a name for himself with a question.
Follow up to Mr. Bowles' question, Coach. You're a fine coach. It's a great conference, great school, all-world offense. I figure there may be 5,000 seniors who start on defense in Texas a year. You recruit from other states. Why can't you get 10, 15, or 20 who can hold your opponents to 30 points or less a game?
I wish I had the answer.
He was literally upset. He's like, he listed how many people play college football in Texas. It's like, Texas is great football. We have 10,482 kids playing high school football. They get recruited everywhere. Kliff, why can't you find 15 guys who can hold other teams to 30 points and under? Kingsbury said, I wish I had the answer to that. But it makes sense.
It's a fair question. It's a really fair question.
It's a perfect question.
Oh man.
He kind of got buried by the MC too when he asked like, "Oh, why did I come out to the Bieber song?" And the MC was like, "Well, it doesn't work like that. You're not here to ask the questions." Like,
Yeah, he did say that.
kinda like buried.
Kingsbury's kind of playing this card. He doesn't want to be known as like the good-looking coach.
The pretty boy, yeah.
But then he wears like
Right.
the best clothing
Right.
of all
Like
time.
he's going to like
And-
the Derby or something.
And
It's like, dude,
when the pretty boy can't keep teams under 30, you're going to get questions like
Yeah.
this. You're going to come out to Bieber.
Yep.
You
He's
can't.
like, why did I come out to Bieber? Because you have a flower in your suit at
Yeah.
Big 12 Media Day. That's
He's
why.
also feeling heat because Mike Gundy's mullet is just taking everything by storm. in the
And
Big
Gundy's
12.
an electric factory.
And Stoops is gone.
Yep.
It's Gundy's league.
Yeah, no, it's
I mean,
true.
is Bill Snyder? I mean, Bill Snyder's going to be there forever.
Is he alive?
He just retires and then comes back, and then they're like the Wizard of Kansas State, and then it's just like it's just like a 24-year-old white QB who can run up the middle.
Yeah.
Like, wow, Kansas State. Then they'll upset one person that I bet the other side on every year.
I think you could argue he's the best football coach of all time.
He might be because
When he leaves, they go to 0-12.
And Kansas State's a really bad
Yeah,
place to like.
right.
There's nothing in Manhattan. Kansas.
They go from 0-12 to like 10-2, 9-3.
Right.
If he's there, that's what.
And the same white guy quarterback.
And I've actually never even seen him like do it. He just sits there with those headphones, just like.
It's just his presence.
Yeah, it's Bill Snyder, what a guy. Bunch of shit in the after show. We had Francis jokingly, but probably not, threaten to bring a bomb and blow the office up to this morning.
Yep.
Because I guess Octagon Bob said congrats on the sex.
Keith said congrats on the sex. He's wearing the same shorts. And I actually knew this about Francis because I said congrats on the sex like a month ago.
Does not like it.
He was like, why does everyone assume I just had sex? Like, I was like, oh man, that's just kind of a random.
So-
it's like something you
Pretty
just say.
general thing
Yeah.
we say.
The
all the time.
exchange, the exchange went. He walked in wearing the same shorts the day before. Keith said, "Oh, did you? Looks like you must have stayed out, had sex." He got mad.
Had a little sex there.
Octagon Bob said, "Congrats on the sex." He said, "You're an 18-year-old like zit-faced loser who's a virgin." And then Octagon Bob was like, yeah, but we have the same job. I'm 18. And then Francis said, well, I'm going to bring in a bomb and blow up the office.
Yes.
That's pretty much how that exchange went.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I asked him on radio, I'm like, were you serious? He's like, I was very frustrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, no, did you see what he said, though? He said that it's a joke because he doesn't know how to make a bomb.
Yeah.
Which leaves the door open that if he ever figures out how to make a bomb, that's
Like-
no longer a joke.
We're very serious about the bomb thing. Yeah, he was apologizing. Like, I'm sorry, that joke was like a little too. Like, dude, that wasn't a joke. Like, you said, I'm gonna fucking bomb everybody and kill everybody. It's not a joke.
All Business Pete had a fair point. He's like, I think he said that's the 6th time that he's made the bomb threat. So if he was gonna blow up the office, he would have done it by now.
True.
Pete was just like, oh, bomb threat from Francis? Yeah,
Good point.
yeah, sure.
Good point. Bob does win that argument in that we have the same job because Francis went to Harvard, athlete in college. Bob didn't go to college.
No.
And he's like, but we're in the same spot.
Yeah, but I use that analogy. It's like you can't do the age thing. We're like almost a sport. Like if someone's like a 19-year-old phenom and is a starting pitcher in baseball, and Al Leiter is still in the league, it's like you have the same job, same age.
To Francis' credit too, we talked it out. He openly admits that like he's not good at like ball busting.
No,
he said his mom told him was like, hey, you shouldn't work there because you can't ball bust.
If he had a shtick as a stand-up, it would be like the thin-skinned comedian,
Right.
like which would be a kind of
So
interesting.
I can
that'd be
appreciate if Francis like pretended that he handled that like perfectly fine. That would be like, okay, now I'm worried.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I know that I went a little too far there and said I was going to bomb
Francis is
everyone.
not here, right?
Yeah,
right
he's
now?
probably making his bomb.
Someone had this idea, which is brilliant. If we just paid a heckler to wear at a stand-up of his, just to heckle him with like
That's so mean.
a hidden camera.
He can't, no.
That would be
Because the first
a fire
half,
factory.
First half of his show is his show. Second half is like his reaction to all the shit that he can't take.
It's a weird combo. And then we had Mike the Bike, who walked into my office, formerly of Young and Happy, and Mike the Bike basically said this was an untenable situation, and he could no longer work for Young and Happy, and he was shaking as you're doing. So he resigned, the first official resignation, I think, ever at Barstool like that, where he has resigned from Young and Happy because Buddha Ben pushed him over the edge. So now he's a free agent. We took him in. Now everyone wants a piece of the bike. So Mike the Bike is off Young and Happy and just an interesting dynamic. And then Buddha Ben's like, well, do we have an intern? It's like, maybe you should have thought about that before you basically
brutalized your
Yeah. Everyone's pro-bike, not Ruda Ben, but who knows what goes on. The Young and Happy.
Speak? Should we let him speak? Where's Ruda?
Of all the things, by the way, the biggest misnomer here is the fact that Young and Happy is called Young and Happy when it was the most miserable place on earth. It really was, though.
It is just like disgruntled. It's like,
Buddha, do you want to defend yourself?
That clip of Roan wearing the Young and Happy shirt, I thought it was a put-on. I was like, we have major problems at Young and Happy. It's like they do. They hate each other.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk. This is a real,
Yeah, no, this is a real beef.
yeah.
Real beef.
Is this live?
Neither of them want any action. Come
it-
on,
it-
you're
it-
you're
you
with
guys
us
gotta
now.
come on. Yeah.
Well, Buddha won't, but Bike
Mike,
will.
come on.
Come on, Bike.
Come on.
oh, here comes Buddha.
Oh,
Buddha's
they're both
coming.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Buddha thinks he can intimidate him from the
no. Got a cat.
Ruda, come on.
Buddha thinks he
gotta-
can
you gotta
intimidate
come
him
on.
from the side. Bike, you happy with the turn of events today?
Yes, a huge chip just came off my.
Okay,
Yeah.
Off your shoulder.
where's Buddha? Buddha, come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Scare Mike. That's great.
One of the great rivalries that nobody talked about
Yeah.
here, Buddha Ben versus Mike.
I tried keeping it under the radar, and YP exposed it.
Well, we are kind of like, we're like cameras everywhere.
I learned that after.
Yeah, it took a little while. So are you happy now that he's gone?
I think we're both happy. I
Okay,
mean,
so then it's all
you
big happy
can
family.
check the tapes. It started as a very great relationship at first, and it's just developed into something that never should have. And
You also,
Here we are.
you're hard on. You were hard on Mike.
I'm a
You,
hard
didn't let
worker,
him
and I
eat
want
sometimes.
someone working hard with me.
I offered to buy him lunch once, and Buddha was like, "No, you can't do that."
He didn't. He was working on something. I come back. He's been gone for like an hour, and he was standing in line for Big Cat getting lunch. Like,
Yeah, I offered.
like he had work to do.
Yeah, but he's
Everything that's transpired has just been asking him to do work and not getting done, and then issues like dramatics after that.
Theatrics.
Mike, yeah. Let's hear what you got to say about that.
I'm free.
See,
And on that note,
A lot of video game time coming up.
No.
No. All right. Give us a vroom vroom. Take us out with a vroom.
Vroom vroom.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Awesome.